readers, welcome back to the Toppling TBR. I'm Stacey.
I am Hannah, and we are officially on Kingdom of Ash. So today we're going to be doing part 1, Armies and Allies. And we will go ahead and start with Aedion and his crew and get that out of the way, because that was the most boring part to me, at least. I mean,
It wasn't very interesting. There wasn't a
Yeah.
lot going on, other than him
No,
being a little bitch, baby.
I was gonna say, there's a lot going on, but yeah, him being a bitch definitely takes the front seat. So he is back in his element. Well, at least he's trying to be. He's in Terrasen. He's got the Bane with him. He, is leading them. I feel like he feels pretty empty here, though, and I could really, see that in a lot of his actions. Rightfully so. He's still pissed and ignoring Lysandra. And it said she tried talking to him dozens of times, and he's just ignoring her. And he was wondering if any of that was real. Like, how does your mind take you there from what
I don't know.
So I tried to take a step back because I'm like, he's one of the main characters. Like, we're supposed to like him, I think. So I really tried to take a step back and put myself in his shoes. And I think I still don't agree with him. I still think he's a little twat. But I think all of his anger is actually grief. Like, he's grieving Aelyn. He has went his entire life wanting to find her. He finally got her back. And now Lysandra's walking around as Aelyn. But, I don't know. That's got to be hard, I guess. But I don't think it was really about Lysandra lying as much as his whole world, everything that he built up for and everything he thought he had is just kind of broken now.
He's taking it out on the wrong person.
Yeah.
She didn't ask for this. She didn't say, "Hey, Aelyn, you got to get yourself kidnapped because I want to walk in your shoes for a while. I want to be you, and I want everyone to think I'm you." It's not like she set this up. She's doing what her queen asked of
She
her.
didn't. She didn't.
Yeah, and
It's not her fault at all. They're both grieving, the same person, but she's handling it well and he's handling it like a big man baby. So
pretty much. Pretty
yeah.
fucking much. Yeah.
So then shortly after that, Evangeline and Lysandra get their little reunion. And what did you think about that?
It seemed a little hollow.
I think so too. And I was
Yeah.
wondering if it's because she is kind of feeling hollow herself because she's lost her identity and all of that. But every other reunion that we've had in this whole series has been more than lived up to, my expectations of it. And this one to me, I was like, okay, well, I'm happy she's, taken care of. I'm happy she's happy. That was pretty much the extent of it for me.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's because she knows that there's a good chance she's gonna die and she's trying to lock those feelings away. But it just I don't know, it was really unauthentic towards who Lysandra is as a person. That it kind of seemed like they could have cut it from the book and no one would have noticed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wrote it down in my notes. And then whenever I was putting together the podcast, I was like, oh, wait, I barely remember that. I'll ask her if she liked it because I didn't really.
Yeah, no, it was a blip on it almost seemed irrelevant. It was almost like Sarah J. Maas was like, "Oh yeah, I should probably mention her again." And it was it was a really weird place to put it too, I think. Like, I hope that we get to see them reunited again once this is all done because that was just I was weird.
Yeah, we shall see. Okay, so Marath is taking their armies and they're heading north. So this is kind of like when the dread starts creeping in. They've been, thinking about this war for so long and it's not on the horizon anymore. It's right here. So, side note, I love that Ren created armor for Lysandra's ghost leopard form.
I did too. That's so sweet.
Yeah, that's she's solidified her place as a warrior now, which is pretty badass because she never ever fought before.
No, and she never really had a place before.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone's like, "Hey, you've been initiated."
And for her to get the armor for her ghost leopard form is her receiving that, not pretend Aelyn. So that probably had to make her feel really good too. So they fight these Morath grunts, I guess, to try to wear them down. And then Nox Owens comes in. Do you remember him?
Yes. You know what? The name, I was like, why is this ringing a bell? And I'm like, oh yeah, he was in the first one. And I'm like, oh yeah. Because it took me a minute. I'm like, I recognize this name. Where do I recognize it from? I was like, oh, maybe I'm getting it mixed up from another book. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I was really happy to see him come back.
I'm so glad he made a reappearance.
Me too. So he is Darrow's messenger and he's like, hey, yo, Darrow wants to talk to you guys. So Lysandra goes as Aelyn And then Darrow wants them to stay in Orinth. He doesn't want them to like go engage. But while they're there, Nox comes in with another messenger, and the messenger smells Lysandra and starts to say shifter, and their eyes go all black. And then they kill it. But like, do you think it was too late? Do you think that the message was already relayed before they killed her or killed him?
Yeah, I kind of felt that way. It seems strange that they even got that close. Like, how did no one spot that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, Nox isn't Fae, so he probably wouldn't smell anything off. And they did mention that he didn't have a ring or a collar. But like,
Yeah.
why are you gonna allow a random messenger who you don't know into a tent with your queen?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It just seemed a little weird. It seemed a little
Yeah,
weird. That's what
I
I mean. I'm
agree.
like,
Yeah. So they decide that they're gonna defy Darrow because he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and they're gonna go down to the border anyway. And then we also learn that Nox knows that Aelyn is not Aelyn, but he'll keep her secret anyway, which
yeah.
that's awesome. That she can inspire loyalty in these people years later. Like she's made such an impact on everybody's life that she comes in contact with. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. I do too, because that just shows you that even a small period of time was enough to
Yeah.
really
Well, she saved his
solidify who
life.
she was in person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She was like,
she told him
there's
to leave, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's shit going down in the castle, and unless you want your insides eaten, you should probably head out.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so Lysandra sees the 50,000 troops of Ilkin and Volk's princes and all of that, and they're coming for them. And they have more than double their numbers, and they are breaking through the lines at Morath, and our crew is being pushed north. And, this is we start to really hear everybody question, where's Aelyn? Where's Aelyn?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they start to retreat, and we get another shitty Aedion moment where he says, your plan was bullshit. How could you ever be her? And he calls her a useless shapeshifter and says that she ruined everything.
That's what I mean. I know that there's not many people for him to kind of give his anguish to, but
Yeah,
he just pissed me off in this section. I wanted to
God.
give him a slap so freaking bad. It's not her fault. She's doing her best. She's doing what she was told, and he's just being a complete asshole.
Yeah,
I did not much care for him in this part. I didn't.
me
I
either.
didn't.
And it's misplaced anger, but like, come on, dude. So it's easier to hate her, I guess, than to, like, actually realize that he's broken without Aelyn and doesn't know who he is, and so he is lashing out, but it's still not right. But the part that, like, crossed into unforgivable territory for me, like, obviously I don't like him, but unforgivable was kicking her out of his tent naked.
Yes, yes.
That,
I'm
like,
sorry. That
oh
was
my gosh.
humiliating. He knows what she went through, and he humiliated her. I don't know if I would ever forgive him for that. As
No,
a person, that's horrible. You don't
she's
treat
given him
people that way.
no, she's given up everything, like, her body, her identity, her safety, everything, and then you are literally going to strip her of her dignity in this moment and, like, push her down while she's already down, like, I
Yeah,
cannot stand Aedion.
I couldn't either. He was my villain in this section of
Yeah.
book. I know that they have all these villains, but he needs to sort his shit out.
Yeah, he
He
absolutely
needs to
does.
sort his shit out.
So, Marath's army is coming for Peranth. They get them all onto the frozen river. I think they kill, like, 2,000 of them, but that still doesn't even make a dent in it, and they broke the line. So, like, when they broke the line here, like, I felt the chaoticness of, like, everybody running from their places and stuff. I think she wrote that scene really well. Like,
I think so as well. I
I
had great visuals in my head. Great visuals.
same. Yeah, like, they're, abandoning their posts and their pride and everything, just going straight into survival and saying, like, "I'm out." But then we start to hear, the queen has come, and Lysandra is down there in little bitty Aelyn's skin without Aelyn's assassin skills, taking on an Ilkin? It's bold of you. Do you think she knew she was good? Like, obviously she didn't die, but do you think she just accepted and she was like, "All right, now it's time to die to rally this one last little battle"?
Yeah, she had to have known that because she has very minimal training. She had to know without her shifting power, that she was gonna die, and I think that she had accepted that, and she was willing to die to save people, because you're gonna have people rallying behind you when your queen dies. It's just how it is.
Yeah,
You're gonna
and
get
you can't if you're going to pretend to be Aelin and you're about to die, you can't retreat and go into, like, ghost leopard form or anything because that
no.
ruins your facade.
Exactly. She knew. The second that she stepped out and did that, she knew that there was a very, very good chance she was gonna die. And I think that she was okay with that. And I think Aedion made it really easy for her to feel that way too, which was really tragic. Yeah. Like, the way he's been treating her, what has she got to live for at that point?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's also why she was distant with Evangeline because she was like, "I'm not gonna be here." Like,
Yeah, that's kinda how I felt about it too, that she was locking her feelings away. It just I don't know, it didn't feel like it was necessary, that part in the book. It just felt really unnecessary.
yeah. So she is fighting as Aelin, and Aedion's running towards her and sobbing, like, "Good, good.
Too
You get to
late.
see the cost of your cruelties."
Mm. I
So,
didn't even feel bad for him at that point.
yeah, I didn't either. I didn't either. That I literally wrote down "good." Like,
Yeah.
not
I'm
for
like, "I
her,
hope
but
it's all
for
right,
you.
little bitch baby." Though he really he really made me mad. Really mad.
But Lysandra's doing great. She's doing everything, Aelin would have wanted her to do. She's being, brave and cunning. And I think honestly, she played her role as her so well.
No one else spotted it, but then Nox only did because obviously she didn't recognize him. That's the only reason he knew, is because she obviously didn't know him. But
Yeah.
otherwise, he probably wouldn't have known either.
Yeah. She did great.
She
So,
awesome.
but Aedion's able to rescue her. That she inspired the men to, go hold the line for a little bit. And whenever she was healing, she shifted back into Lysandra. So now everybody knows that Aelin is not there. And I'm wondering, like, I feel like I mean, I might feel a little bit betrayed if I were her people, but at the same time, I would almost feel relieved. Like, oh, well, that's why the fire's not been here. She's not here. Not like she's here and she's not choosing to help us and give us her magic.
Yeah. I think it's going to give the troops a very different thing to be thinking about, that this woman was there with no skills to help them when she really didn't have to either. And they're going to understand why, I'm assuming at some point, that is because Aelin had been kidnapped and the war had to be the focus. She didn't want people worrying about where the fuck she went.
So, also in this scene, we get to see they bring up the witch towers, and one of the witches jumps into it and performs, or I don't know the right word, but the yielding and takes out 4,000 soldiers.
Just like, that was probably it for me. I was like, what the fuck just happened? That is, you have to really believe in something to die for it. Like that.
I mean, but well, your life is taking out 4,000. I mean, in a battle, that's pretty good odds, right?
Yeah, but you still don't come back from that. It's not like you get a 50-50 shot of surviving it. You've got 0 shot of surviving it. They knew they were
Well,
going in there to die.
yeah, Manon said before that it's usually younger witches who like want to try to prove themselves and not ones who have lived out a fuller life and know what they,
You mean
I
the
don't know.
stupid ones?
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it. No.
So they've yielded Parant and they are running, and Aedion apologizes for all of it to Lysandra, which was some bullshit. Like, that's damage control, actually. That's not growth. Like,
Yeah.
you're apologizing because you lost everything, not because you actually understand what you did wrong. At
Yeah.
least that's how I feel about it.
That's exactly how I felt about it too. It felt really disingenuous. I'm
He
like, I wouldn't forgive you, big fucking
he
baby. He really, I'm hoping that he does redeem himself in the second part. Otherwise, he's going to be on my shit list for the rest of my life.
yeah, he didn't even take any accountability in the apology. It was just, "I apologize for all of it." You didn't say what? You didn't say why you did that, like, nothing. Just, "I
No,
apologize."
I
So
want
I'm
an explanation.
super
I want an
yeah,
explanation.
I'm super glad that she did not accept it.
She deserves much better than
And she's so smart too. Like, she has been, you know, pleasing men against her will her entire life, and she doesn't have to anymore. So,
no. Good, good for
bye.
her.
Yeah,
He can sit on the naughty step for a while, because
that's right.
I'm not okay yet either.
So we get to see a little bit of, I guess, punishment for something different whenever Darrow shows up and strips Aedion of his title. That was a little bit of a gut punch, but
Yeah,
You
that was
know?
nice.
I I still am glad that they, went against him because if they posted up an Orinth the whole time, Morath would already be there and then they'd be fucked and.
Yeah, they made the right call, but I also think that he deserved that too. He just totally deserved that.
Same. And then I honestly think that the more hard-hitting part for him was whenever he took the sword. 'Cause I
Yes.
feel like he doesn't know who he is. I feel like that was, like, a part of his identity, you know?
Well, he was really young when all this stuff kicked off originally, right? When, like, he
Yeah, I
thought
think
that
he was,
Aelyn
like,
was
8
dead
or
and
10. I think he's a couple years
yeah.
older than Aelyn.
Yeah, so he was just a kid too, so I guess his whole life has been battle, has been loss and battle, so you can kinda see where he's a little warped, but I still don't forgive him. Like,
Yeah,
no, I'm not
same.
ready yet. He owes
So
me an
also
apology.
yeah, right? Every reader.
Yeah! We all deserve one. Christ.
Right. So that also Darrow said that if Lysandra ever wears Aelin's skin again, it'll be a death sentence. So she's
Yeah.
fully Lysandra from here on out.
I'm kinda glad of that.
Me too.
I think that that needed to happen for her.
I
Like,
think it
that
was
was a
like
lot of responsibility.
yeah, it was like tearing her up emotionally. Like I could not imagine the responsibility and also the erasure of your identity after you just got the feeling that you got it back?
Yeah.
So Marath is gaining on them. They're trapped. Aedion tells Ren to say that Terrasen is calling for aid. And they begin to fight. And Marath starts shooting the heads of Ansel's men at them, which I couldn't imagine being Ansel in that moment. And, like, not knowing that your troops got intercepted, but, like, also seeing all of your men's heads flying towards you.
But yeah, it painted a very gruesome picture.
Yeah. I couldn't
Very gruesome one.
live in wartime.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Rolf's fleet and the Fire Lances show up, and Marath fires so much that they retreated, and they all hopped on his boat, and they're all heading to Orinth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I have to admit, I was at the point where I'm like, are we saying goodbye to these people in this
yeah.
section? I was like, phew, thank fuck. I never thought I'd be that happy to see that fucking pirate dude ever again.
I love Rolf. I've
I
always
know. I know, but he's so like, I don't know. The way he talks, I'm like, oh, you'd get under my skin, I
he's
think.
a little
In real
sleazy.
life, you'd be one of those people that'd be like, oh, you just irritate me with your voice.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see him.
Yes, me too. That's all I have on their storyline. Was there anything else?
That was pretty much it for me. It wasn't my favorite section, which is, I really wanted to love that part because I love Lysandra and the fight and stuff is very exciting, but I don't know. Aedeion really soured that whole part for me.
He did. Well, we also didn't really get to see Lysandra fight a lot. Like, it spoke about, she
Yeah.
got her armor and all of that, but I feel like we didn't see she did more scouting and stuff in this
Yeah.
section, I feel like.
Yeah. It felt like there was a lot going on, but we didn't really get it in detail. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it was a very odd section for me. It was needed, but it was just, I don't know, it wasn't my favorite.
Same.
Wasn't my
So,
favorite.
we did my least favorite, and now let's jump into hands down my favorite section of this part, and that is Dorian and the witches. I freaking loved everything about this section. It was absolutely written perfectly.
It really was. It really was.
So it starts off, they didn't find any luck with the third word key, so they've now deviated and they're just going to try to get the Krakens on board to fight the war with them. And shortly after that, Dorian uses the word marks to summon Gavin. That was so cool.
It was really cool. It's a little surprising, to be honest with you. I feel like he is grasping at whatever he can think of to try and take all this on his own, it feels like. I feel like he's not being much of a team player right now, and I don't know why it's coming across that way. Because he has the witches. If he would just talk, but he just I don't know. It feels like he's trying to separate himself
Yeah.
away.
I think a lot of Dorian's storyline has been about control.
Yeah.
He had control his magic, was fighting for control of his own autonomy and everything under his father's rule. And then, he had the bog collar. And I think ever since then, even with Manon, he was like, I will never beg again. Like, he just wants to be in control. And I
Yeah.
think, yes, he does trust Manon, but I think that by inviting in and opening up and being vulnerable to like a whole fleet of witches or whatever, I think that sets up for things to go awry. I think if he thinks he's in control of everything, then he can kind of direct it in the way that he needs it to go. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
maybe
I think you know what? I think you are actually correct. I just think that he's an idiot. I really think that
say that.
collectively, as a whole, they could come up with things that he couldn't. He doesn't have to have all this weight on his shoulders, and I think that it's really tearing him apart.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, I really felt like he was being really stupid, but at the same time trying to be really heroic, and it didn't I don't know. I guess I'm done with the lone wolf bullshit now. I need them to all come together as a
Yeah.
little collective ball.
Well, also, he's also still coming out of that depression of being
Yeah.
captured and Sorsha dying and, like, all of that, so he might think he deserves his fate.
Yeah, maybe.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know. I could see Manon, like, the struggles that she has, and I'm like, "Dorian, fucking get a clue already."
Okay, so he summons Gavin, and I love that he calls him selfish. I was like, "Hell yeah, you do that." Because really, yes, I understand that what is her name? Elena is your mate, and you want eternity with her, but you're not gonna help me out because you'd rather have that than every single person in this world living.
Yeah. You all can die so that I can have an afterlife with somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but we do learn that Damaris was blessed by the God of Truth, and so it can guide Dorian, and I love that it, like, he
Love that. Yeah, I'm loving that right now.
yeah, it's
Loving it.
really, really awesome. And then I don't actually remember if Dorian voiced it aloud or if he was just thinking it because it's a recurring thing in his, like, question of, "Am I human?" Did he ask Gavin out loud, or is he still holding on to that internally?
Which part?
The asking of, "Am I human?" Like, did he ask Gavin that, or did he just think that?
He was just thinking it. Because I
I
don't think
thought
Gavin answered him.
so too. I don't know, but I would wonder the same thing, man, if my dad was Vogue.
Yeah, but we now that I know that he doesn't know, but we know that the princess, her baby's human, and she was Volk, so I think he's okay. That kind
Yeah,
of for me, I was like, "Oh, okay, so he's probably human then." I know he's got magic and whatnot, but yeah, I guess that would be a really big identity hit, wouldn't it? What am I? Who am
would.
I? What
Or
am I? He
deviant?
doesn't even really have a kingdom right now. He's just
I know.
fucking running around with a bunch of witches.
I know. Glot for it, though.
You know what I mean?
It'd be boring if he was posted up at Otterlin.
Yeah, I don't think I'd enjoy that so much.
No. Okay, so then a freaking white bear comes out of nowhere, and it's actually the Stygian spider that Manon stole the spider silk from. I love that. Love that. And Dorian is like, "No, let's not kill her because I wanna learn how to shift."
Yeah, I
You
know.
know
I was like, when I read that, I'm like,
yeah, you messaged me about that one, and I was like, "Whoa, okay."
yeah,
I love
that's
his approach. He is so not impulsive. He's such a good other end of the spectrum from, impulsive Aelin and other leaders that we've seen. He observes and, he questions everything. And I really like the king that he's turning into.
I do as well. I think he's being a little secretive, and I'm not enjoying that anymore. We've had so much of people hiding their true intentions all the way through the book that I just wished that it was over now, that everyone just laid their cards out.
But do you think he's being secretive because he knows it's a death sentence and he knows Manon will probably try to talk him out of it?
I think that's part of it. I really believe that I think he thinks he has to do this by himself. It's almost like his redemption arc, if you like. I kind of feel like he feels like it was foretold this way, right? Because it could be him or it could be Aelyn, and I think that he feels that he has to. Even
Aelin's
though
trapped. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they're on a time crunch. So right now, technically, he does have to save the world.
Yeah, but he could still voice that to somebody. "Hey, I'm feeling this pressure right now. What can we do?" Because I'm sure that if Manon couldn't talk him out of it, that maybe they'd find a way together. I don't know. I don't know. I'm done with the secrets now. I've been with this series so long now. I'm done with people hiding shit. I just want
We
it
have
all.
half a book. So less than half a book now. Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah.
sad.
I
So sad.
know. I'm feeling bereft right now because I even calculate how many pages there are, and I'm like, how am I going to make this last?
Yeah, I'm not ready. That's okay.
I'm not ready.
Okay. So they find the Krakens and we meet Glennis, who is Manon's great grandmother. Yeah, great grandmother. And I actually really like her.
I do
But
too.
Then shortly after that, the 2 Yellow Legs covens come attack, and we learn that Manon set that up. And why? Did it say why?
She wanted to show the Crocans that she was on their side, so she had to pick a side, and she was showing them she picked theirs.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more
Dorian was like, "I get why you did it." He was like he was really because you could tell that he was like, "I can't believe she did that," and then he was like, "I get it."
Yeah.
And he normally would have been really like, "I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you just set that up and didn't say it." He was like, he just let it roll off him.
Well,
I thought that was really like
I think he's really starting to see the big picture of everything.
yeah, I know, but it was for me, it was weird. I was expecting him to ream her out, and I was waiting for that, and he was just like, "Okay."
So then Dorian learns that he must demand what he wants to shift in, like demand what he wishes from his magic in order to shift. And once he gets that information, he steals the little shifting seed out of the spider and kills her, which we learn later it was the same spider as Falcon, which is super cool, but we'll get there. Also, another cute thing that I liked a lot in here is just like a little blip, but learning that Abraxos or Manon's mount and Astron's mount are mates.
So cute, that was so cute. I didn't
I
really think about that until, like, that was even a thing for them, and I'm like, because she was like, "Well, I know they," you know.
yeah.
I'm like, "I didn't think about that either."
No, I loved it though. Love, love, love it. Especially because you know what? If any mount is gonna be mated and happy and in love, Braxos deserves it.
100%. 100%.
So, the 13 then decide that they will go south with the Krakens to Eelway instead of going north because they're playing the long game. But they get there and they're too late, and all of the people in Eelway have been killed by Morath soldiers. And I think because she caused the delay with the yellow leg, she, like, feels guilt, like
Yeah.
it's her fault.
I don't think that would have made a lick of difference,
Yeah,
really.
I don't think so either, but I it makes me wonder if it was the guilt that caused her to hand dig the graves or what, because that's, like, very
Mm.
different from old Manon. And I mean, she has done a lot of growth, but
Yeah, I kind of felt like she's gotten to the point now where it's okay to not be what her grandmother was telling them they all
absolutely.
were, and I think that she would have liked if somebody did that for her when she passed. And I think she was feeling all the feelings, and that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to honor these warriors, the ones that didn't realize they were living a mistake.
So much growth for her, I
I know,
love
I
it.
love her. She's really come far in my
Yeah,
esteem.
she has. After that, let's see, Dorian tries to summon Gavin again, and he accidentally summons Caltaine, of all the people. But he asks her, you know, "How did you break free of the collar?" And she's like, I raged against it every day. I didn't feel like I deserved it." And I think he really needs that information knowing that he could fight it since he's about to walk into Morath. But Manon heard that, so now she knows he's planning on leaving. So all the secrecy is out in the open anyway. And then also, right around this time, Manon finally accepts that she is both Crockett and Iron Teeth. I love that for her.
I do too. I think that's 2 parts of a whole for her, and I think she needed to heal because she knows what she was being made to do, that she was killing her own kin. Like, that must be horrible.
What a mind fuck. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's horrible, and then to know that you killed your half sister.
for
I think that she has learned to forgive because she was running on information she didn't have.
yeah.
How can you punish
I mean, you
yourself for
have
that?
to.
You didn't fucking know.
You have to. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just going to live a life of, guilt and sadness and anxiety and all the negative things that you
Yeah.
literally cannot fix or control.
Yep.
So they go to the Ferrying Gap to ask Petra's host to join them and tells them, that they can have an Iron Teeth and Kraken alliance, promises them a better world. Do you think that they will accept that?
Going forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think that's exactly what's going to happen, and I think that's what needs to happen for the 2 collectives to heal and get their lives and lands back. I think it has to happen. I think everyone's holding on to all this generational trauma, and I think it has to end, and I think that they're gonna accept that, especially after what happens.
Do you think that Petra will get other covens on board or other like the Yellow Teeth or the Iron Teeth? What was not Blackbeaks.
I think she's got a good chance at it, yeah, I do.
I bet that so many of the witches absolutely hate the leadership role and the way that things are ran by the matron. Like
She wants
even
to be the queen. How
Yeah.
arrogant is that? So that there's no clans now, they're just all under her?
Yeah. And even I think Astrid showing her unclean branding, like,
Yeah.
really kinda, like, hit it home for them, like, oh, she
That's
really
not
is.
how you do things. It's okay. It's okay to not be okay with this, and I
Yeah.
think that's showing I
But
think that's
Astrid or Manon even asked, they were like, "How many of you guys have been, forced to not hold your stillborns?"
yeah.
So I'm wondering how many, like, if that's a common thing.
I bet it is. I bet it is. Fucking
Fuck the
gross. I
matron,
hate
I
that
can't
fucking old
stand her.
bag.
Oh, me too. Okay, so Dorian is shifting, he's changing eye colors, changing into Raven, and he flies for the first time, and, like,
That was
I
cool.
sat there and thought about it for a second. How exciting would it be? You did not know you have magic. Now you do, but now you can fly?
Yeah.
I
He has
freaking
some of the coolest magic too because it's literally world joy stuff. What do you wanna try?
I know, I know. I told you way in the beginning, I'm like, "Dude, Dorian's magic is so."
It is really cool. I believed you. I just didn't know how cool.
And it still gets better, so
What? How? Actually, don't tell me.
I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna find out, by next weekend, so then he shifts into a female, and I absolutely I cackled. I laughed out loud whenever Manon smelt him and was like, "I'm surprised you're not groping yourself."
Yeah. I
Said
laughed
I'm
at that.
sorry. I love it. I feel like Manon doesn't get Aelin's hilarious, but I feel like Manon doesn't get a lot of, good snarky things that make me laugh.
Well,
Okay.
okay.
So, let's see, where was I? Okay. Oh, and then Dorian goes up to her and is like, "Tell me to stay." And that scene was, hard for me to read because I really love them so much, and he has such a good read on her. He understands her. He was like, "You won't. You're afraid of this. Like, you're afraid of yourself." And I don't know. I love that he sees her and challenges her almost and makes her open her eyes and, see that there is room for growth in her, or maybe, she could be a little bit vulnerable. Who knows?
Must be terrifying though.
But then the 3 matrons show up. How'd you feel about that? Were you expecting that at all?
No, I was hoping that the witches that were gonna join them were gonna show up. I was not I was not ready for that. Like, I was expecting the wyverns to come in. It was the ones that have kinda defective. They don't wanna deal with that no more. No, I was not expecting that at all. What were they thinking? Honestly, what would they think that they wouldn't be challenged there by the 13? Like,
Well,
come on! There's
I
3
think
of them.
yeah, but they have years and years of experience, and they do think that they're superior to them in skill and, intellect and everything.
Arrogant.
Yeah, arrogant
Arrogant.
is what it is. So, freaking the Yellow Legs matron shows up wearing Rihanna and Kraken's crown.
That
What a
was
freaking insult.
yeah. That's
I
how
just
I felt about it too. I'm like, "Oh, really? Oh, really?"
Yeah, so I love Manon was like, that's not your crown. Imma step over this line. We're doing this." I love that, and I think that that was obviously, a big rallying point for the Krakens to be on team. She's going up against her leaders, so it's not
Yeah.
just these little baby clans that she's called over now. It's the entire organization of the Iron
Yep.
Teeth Witch. So, did you yell out loud whenever she chopped off the Yellow Leg's head?
I actually couldn't believe it happened. Really, I was not expecting that at all. I was like, "Holy shit balls. Oh my god."
Obviously, I would have loved for it to be her grandmother's head, but I
Yeah.
hated the Yellow Legs coven almost as
A
much.
lot. Yeah.
I feel like if we got to know them more, we would have hated them just as much. I feel like they're probably actually more cruel than the Blackbeard coven,
Yeah.
but
They that came across in the series. It came
Mhm.
across like that they were the yeah. There was no line that they wouldn't cross.
Yep. So she chops her head off and takes the crown and puts it on her own head. And I love that it was like the fire started glowing brighter and it started glowing. Freaking Queen Manon.
Time.
Yeah. So then thankfully, I'm so glad she told Cressida Blackblood to go because I love her. I love the Blue Bloods. What is it? Blue Bloods. Yeah. I love them. And I mean, they're so very different from the other clans. But then she realizes that, her grandmother is not her kill. It belongs to Ashton. So in turning around, her freaking grandmother ran away like a little bitch. I wanted her to die so bad.
I did too, I really did, but it made sense to me to let her live because that would have been she looks like a chicken
No.
shit now. Does not look good. That's not a good look to run.
Yeah, no.
You come step in, and then you fucking feel like a little baby. Yeah, that's gonna have them asking questions. She's not a martyr now, because otherwise they would have martyred her, and it would have been like, "We gotta kill these bitches. They killed 2 of our own. Let's go." Now they let one go, and one escaped, fleeing. So I think that set a
You don't
nice
lose your
little
power. Yeah, I really also loved this I love seeing Manon step into her leadership and, like, seeing her leadership style and how she knew or even had the forethought to, because she has so much hate against her grandmother, like, her grandma made her fucking kill her family her whole life. She killed her mom and dad, but she was able to be like, "You know what? I love Astrid, and she hurt and wounded her just as deeply. Like, I'm gonna step back and let her do this," and I thought that was so big of her.
I did too. I did too. I thought that was a really touching moment,
Yeah,
a
me too.
really, really sweet moment. Brutal, but sweet.
So
Like
then Manon
flowers.
goes to give the crown back to Glynis, and Glynis was like, "No, this is yours. Manon Kraken, Queen of the Witches."
Yeah. I thought like, I got goosebumps again, and I
I
got
did
goosebumps
too.
reading that. I was
I
like,
did.
"Yes."
I'm like, "All right, so you're kneeling, you guys are putting the fingers to your brows, and I'm just over here crying." Like,
Yeah.
because
I
I
was
didn't
like,
even I mean, yes, there's 2 clans, but I didn't even think about, like, just combining the title to be Queen of the Witches. Like, that's such a badass title.
"It's powerful. It's powerful."
Yeah.
There's no it's witches meaning all of you. There's no segregation here. That's You're all one. I loved that. That was probably one of my favorite moments in this part.
Yeah, me too. That was absolutely of the witches, at least. Actually, no, probably this whole section. That's probably my favorite part.
Yeah, it was. For me, it was the most rewarding, the most
Yes.
rewarding.
Yes, because there's a lot of trauma in the other parts. So after that, after she's a dubbed queen, we see a rare moment of vulnerability from her when she was up to Dorian, and she's like, "And if I ask you to stay, like, could we form an alliance between Otterlin and the witches?" Like, insinuating marriage. And I love Dorian so much. Like, he obviously loves her and wants her and all of these things, but he is going to put his happiness on the back burner because he respects her so much and he knows she wouldn't want to be caged like that. I I liked that for him, and I don't know, it was great.
I
But
thought so too.
then he left. I kinda, like, part of me was like, I wanted him to stay, but then I can't because then the whole world would end. So,
Yeah, he put his own he was selfless there because he coulda chose to stay with her, and he coulda just let it all go to hell, but he didn't.
yeah. I mean, he's learned so much. He's done so much growth, and I think he just understands what needs to happen. So, if happiness comes later, it comes later, and if not, then, hey, we'll save the world.
Yep, he played his part.
Yeah. So then after that, I think a witch flies in and is like, "Oh, Terrason's calling for aid. Terrason's calling for aid." So Manon lights the fire, is like, "Your queen summoned you to war," and they fly off, and all of these witches start flying out of, like, hiding, essentially, and I'm like, that was magical. I really loved that part too. That was a very good ending to that section.
Yep, they
So,
all answered the call. They all answered the call. That
they
was their
did.
queen coming back.
And
It was
what's
awesome.
wild is how many of them were Krakens, and how many of them, knew her as, like, what was she? The demon witch killer? I don't remember what her nickname from them was, but, like, they're just gonna rally behind her. I like it. So, one other thing that I had put on here is, like, I really enjoy the 2 ends of the spectrum between Manon and Dorian because like, in their leadership style, like, they both, flirt with darkness a little bit, but you know is stepping into darkness, and I feel like she's been, like, trying to claw her way into the light. So I like that they both started on opposite ends of the spectrum, and then they kind of flip-flopped. I enjoy
Yeah,
that a lot.
yeah. Well, it just shows you that all the time that they're growing around each other. Like, they're not it's always kinda mirrored. I've really enjoyed their relationship too, how it's been building,
Me
how they're coming to terms with who they are as people, their love for each other. Trying to Seeing that vulnerability definitely from Manon was probably one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. On my first read through, they were hands down my favorite pairing. I'm I'm loving Chaol and Yrene though. So,
Me
I don't know
too.
that they've taken first place, but I do love them. Theirs is just more like you said, you're done with the secrets. They don't have any. They're just
No.
100% open. So,
Yeah.
do you have anything else on the witches, or do you wanna move into Chaol and Yrene?
Yeah, let's move into Kale and Yrene. I'm
Okay.
ready.
So they're sailing north, leaving the southern continent, and they hear that all of these troops are marching into Aniel. And, obviously that's Chaol's homeland. So he feels obligated to go warn them. So they arrive and he tells his dad for everybody to evacuate. And his dad's like, no, because I'm a piece of shit. And I hate his dad.
I do too. Hate.
But, they're going to prepare for war then because, they're not going to evacuate. So Morath arrives and, Chaol steps up and he's like, well, Dad, if you're not going to lead them, then I will. His dad was also able to, first of all, I love that Yrene stood up to him. That was
Mhm.
fantastic. But he was
She's
able to pick up on enough context clues to find out that she was pregnant. And he's the one that told Chaol that she's pregnant. That pissed me
Yeah,
off.
I didn't much like that, but I also was like, I wish she told him.
I do
As soon as
too.
she
And
knew, she should have said.
I understand why she didn't tell him, like, it is a lot of pressure, but, like, he already has a lot of pressure, he loves you, and if he dies, you're gonna die, so, like, yeah, adding a baby adds an extra layer into there, but it doesn't, like, create a new issue, it just
No,
makes it a little
no,
more important.
I would have liked to have her to have told him.
I do too,
Yeah.
I do too. I mean, it was good whenever he brought it up. I think that they handled it well and that he wasn't like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I really that was big of him. But so they've been now at this point, they've been fighting for days and tons of people are injured and they're running out of resources and healers are low and all of that. But now let's jump to Aelin's storyline because they're going to merge at this point anyway. So Aelin's storyline is sad. So she's,
Horrible.
yeah, I feel for her, man. She's such a strong person. So she's being tortured. Reality's blurring together and Fenris is being forced to watch. And what did you think about their blinking language?
It was so sweet that he knows that there's nothing he can do, but they found a way to make sure that they're there for each other and that the other person knows. It was yeah, like I said, I showed you the page, right? I didn't get the book away from my tears quick enough.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I love Fenris. I already liked him because he's playful and fun, and, that's typically the character that I gravitate towards, but
Yeah,
seeing this deeper understanding just side of him is I love him so much.
I do as well. I didn't really think much of him in the other books. I really I'm like, whatever, he's just there. Now he's here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah.
for sure. So, on the outside, we've got Alid and Gabriel and Lorcan and Rowan, and they are tracking down Maeve's commanders to torture them for information to find out where they are. I thought it was super sweet that Gabriel was being so nice to Alid and he's bracing her leg. I don't even think she had to ask him to do that. He's just
No,
such a little nice man.
I know. I
So,
know. I feel really bad that Aedion is his kid because he deserves better than that.
right? And there was even a moment, I want to say it was in this book, where Gabriel is like, yeah, Aedeion is my pride.
Yeah. I'm like, you poor man. You have no clue. You poor Faye. You have no
I mean,
clue.
if you just look at, like, his accomplishments and, his being commander of the Bane and, all of that, like, yeah, there's reason to feel pride there, but he needs to do some growing. So you need to get in there and you need to teach him some shit.
Yeah. Parent, please.
Because you got what, like 500 years worth of experience? He needs some.
Yeah, he does.
So then Lorcan tries to talk to Alid and says that he was not, in fact, crawling after Maeve, that he was crawling after Aelyn in the box.
Mhm.
Do you believe him?
You know what? I actually do. I didn't want to, but I do because it's for me, Lorcan, the one thing that he prides himself on is his honesty and his
Yeah.
integrity. So I don't think he would have lied. I really don't.
But, like, also, he didn't like Aelyn. He was already gonna, like, maybe kill her for lying to him about the word key.
Yeah, I think that he understands now what Maeve is. That Alid loves Aelin and he loves
Yeah, I
Alid.
think
I
it was
think,
more for a lead than for Aelyn.
yeah, I don't think this was so much about Aelin, but about Alid's feelings for Aelin. And
Yeah.
she went through hell to get to that woman. You know what I mean? She went through hell. No, I didn't want when he first said it, I'm like, "Fucking liar." And then I'm like, "No, actually, I think he's telling the truth. I don't I think he's telling the truth. I do."
Yeah, I think it was a version of the truth. It was he was crawling towards Aelin, but it was because of the lead for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't I no, but I mean, he wasn't crawling
She's not
towards me.
receptive of that information right now, so it makes sense
No.
that he say that.
But I told you that I thought I read in there that Lorcan had offered himself sexually to Maeve and she'd laughed at him because they repeated it in that book. I'm like, I
Yeah.
knew I'd read that. And I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. At least he knows now that he didn't sleep with a Vogue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how would that hit home? You coulda had a Vold baby. Oh, gosh, that is the scariest unwanted pregnancy ever.
No, thank you. I want to see that.
Oh, the next big thing is that I think because I wrote all these notes down and then I'm, like, trying to go through it and I'm like, "Well, wait, hold on." So did Maeve order Connell to kill Fenris and he instead turned it on himself?
Oh no,
Or
I
did she
think that he made him
order her
kill
to kill Fenris?
himself because that's
I
what
don't remember what it
said. He was
was.
like, she told him to kill himself and made me watch. That's fucking gross. Gross.
But that was her boy toy, like, she was sleeping with him, so I was like, "Well, why would she rid herself of
Because
someone who is loyal to her?"
because she wants to punish Fenris for what he did. That's all this, but it's always been about control. And she wanted to break him. And if she had to lose somebody to do that, she don't give a shit. There's plenty more people to warm her bed.
Cairns.
Yeah.
Ugh.
She's yeah. The more I learn about her, the more disgusting she is. And I'm like, you don't want them to find you. Why are you not joining forces? Like, she literally makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
None. Playing
I
her own fucking game over there.
she
Idiot.
is. She is. Okay, so at this point, whenever Connell dies, Aelyn is, like, kneeling on glass, and she ends up hitting Karen and throwing the glass at Maeve and thinking that she sees black blood. But also, what's real anymore, you know?
How the fuck would you know? It's like the stuff that she's been through, I wouldn't know either.
Yeah. So Maeve told her, I think in that same time that Rowan was spotted in Terracin with her crew. So now she's like given up hope, you know, that
Get
he's
rescued,
coming for
yeah.
her and she doesn't care anymore. And I loved that right after that, her mom showed up and was like, "Why are you crying? Like, you need to be brave a little bit longer. You do not yield."
Yep.
That was touching. I think
I
she
really enjoy.
absolutely needed that. I don't know what would have happened if she didn't have, like, a little bit of hope or inspiration or motivation.
I don't know. She's. You know what? I kind of feel like no matter what, I think she would have found a way through it. She may have had her despair moments, but she still would have found a way. She's strong. She
She's
is.
so resilient.
But she's still worrying about other people too. Like she wants to make sure that her friend's okay. And I don't know. She's being beaten and beaten and beaten and tortured and tortured and tortured, and they're healing her to do it all again, and she's still worrying about him, making sure
Yeah.
he's
Could
okay.
you imagine being 20 years old and having endured all of that, and then Endovir and the whippings, and, like, I just could not imagine.
No, I'd be a wreck. I would be drunk all the time. I'd be a wreck.
Yeah. So then she, you know, takes her mom's words and starts banging on the iron coffin and somehow almost breaks through it, and apparently it, like, let out this surge that Rowan was able to feel.
Yeah, it
That was
released her
super cool.
magic for a moment, yeah,
Yeah,
because she
yeah.
wasn't encased. Brilliant.
Yeah. So I think that that is kinda when they directed themselves towards Doranel because I think they were heading in a different direction.
They didn't think she'd be there because
Yeah.
they were sending I think they thought that they were sending Maeve somewhere, right? That Aelyn would be with her. I think they
Right.
were drawing her out.
Yeah.
Fucking
So,
smart.
at least they're going the right direction now. This is so in one of her torture visions, Maeve essentially tells Aelyn her story
Yeah.
about the kings and the world walking and, you know, to ask her where the keys are there. But, like, I feel like that is kind of out of character for Maeve because telling her history kind of, like, makes her somewhat vulnerable, right? Now, if Aelin can put these pieces together, she knows that the kings are hunting Maeve, and, like, there's just information in there that I feel like if I were a Vol Queen, I wouldn't willingly offer up, even though it's
No. No, you're right. I wouldn't have either, but I think that she was getting desperate because no matter what she was trying, Aelin was giving her fuck all, and I think that she thought that if she could give some information, that it would make her more likely to talk. She ain't gonna talk. She ain't gonna talk.
She's not, because she's a bad. So Alid has now started a rumor that there are Vogue princes with collars, and so Maeve is like, well, Aelin's not gonna cave. By the way, all of this in the beginning, she's like, "Oh yeah, if you just swear the blood oath to me, I'll let you out." Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so glad that she did not do that.
fuck
But
her.
so I know. So Alid starts this rumor, and Maeve is going to go get the collars and to put one on Aelin. So as they draw Maeve out, Alid goes in and finds out from, I think her name was Essar, Lorcan's ex-lover, that yeah, that, Aelin is in fact at this tent and this is the best time to sneak in, and she was super helpful. So I don't know. I don't know. So now plans are getting into action. So now Aelin is in fact in this tent, and Cairn is about to torture her with fire. Like, oh God, I hate him. He makes my skin crawl.
He's just pure evil. That's
Evil.
all he is. There's nothing in there to redeem him. Nothing.
I'm actually really surprised that not that he didn't do worse, but like I think that he couldn't sexually violate her because of
Oh,
some like, thing or hold, but I'm surprised that that didn't happen. I'm glad it didn't. I wouldn't have wanted to read about that, but
no. Ugh.
Aelin has now decided like she has no hope. She's going to end all of this because she is not about to have a collar on her neck.
No. That's where
So
she drew her line.
yeah, hell yeah, I would too. Like, put me in a box and torture me, sure, but if you make me live and be in the back seat to witness all of your evil things that you're gonna make me do, I'm not. So, I mean, but also that's protecting the secrets because if she gets a collar on her, she's gonna tell her where the keys are. So that's kind of like taking a little suicide pill, you know? So she is like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna try to run. So she does. And I think Karen catches her and they kind of start fighting. And Fenris is like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna break this freaking blood oath, even though it's gonna cost me my life. So, like, Fenris was there with her the whole time and he's willing to die for her.
I know, but he saw in her eyes that she was saying goodbye, and he was not okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that's one of the pages that broke me too. Like, I was, like, full on sobbing, and my
Yeah.
dog's like, "Are you okay?" She's licking my face. I'm like, "Get off me, get off."
You form such a deep connection whenever you're in such a tragic, torturous situation together. Like
Yeah,
it that is your only light the entire time. So
yeah.
I don't know. So Fenris and Cairn are fighting and Aelin runs. And Lorcan sees her running, being chased by soldiers, and she's able to, use their sword to free her arm chains too and steal a sword. And then Rowan, like, in his hawk form, bellows or whatever, and she starts sobbing, and I actually started crying at that part. I was like, "Oh my god, I couldn't imagine knowing that my mate is there." Like,
It was that he wasn't far away. He was looking
giving
through.
up hope and he's right there. Like, ugh, I could not imagine that, like, mild form of relief. But then she's like, "No, no, no, go get Fenris," like, pointing over here, "Go get him, please," because still,
She's
she's
thinking
thinking,
about her friend. I know.
I love her so much.
I do too.
So then Lorcan shows up at the tent and they heal Cairn. He sees and smells all the torturing and everything that was going on there. I could not imagine what was going through his head. But in healing Cairn and freaking skinning him alive and then chopping off his head and burning him, honestly, that was kind of romantic in the most dark, twisted way. Like, because he references back in, Air of Fire whenever she was like, if you ever whip me, I'll skin you alive. So, like, that's what his mate would have wanted for him. So, kind of romantic in a weird, twisted way.
It was very sweet, very twisty.
That's fucked up, but,
It
whatever.
was so fucked up. You got to appreciate it.
No, actually, the part that I cried the hardest, like, I cried happy tears when Manon was, crowned queen, but the part that I actually cried the hardest was now whenever Aelyn makes it out and she's like, "Take it off. Take it
Yeah,
off."
that broke me reading that.
I
Broke.
honestly hearing it, the narrator did a phenomenal job of, like, putting that despair
Really.
emotion into her voice. Oh my god, it was so good, but I could not imagine feeling like, yeah, you're out, but, like, ugh, you're still trapped in all of like, oh, I couldn't imagine. I'm so thankful that they were able to use the word marks to get it off of her though, because
Me too.
traveling back with that shit on you the whole time.
No, no. First thing we'd be doing would be finding somebody to get it off my fucking face.
Yeah. So then Rowan sees that she has all new skin, new scars. Like, I mean, I knew they were torturing her, but complete new skin?
Yeah, just to start again.
Yeah. So, one thing that I mentioned that I thought was sweet that we find out later is that her, mating marks were the last ones to go and they didn't disappear until she had lost hope. They have some kind of like magic in them, I guess. So, but Fenris is dying. And so she's like, no, you're going to take the blood oath and I'm going to order you to live. Did you think he was going to die or did you think they were going to find a way out of it?
No, if after you broke a blood oath like that you could even take a new one. So I'm kind of glad that that's how
Well,
that
Rowan
worked.
did. Rowan did with Maeve.
Well, she let him go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
She said, "Yeah, I release you." So I knew that was but he stood up. He broke it. So I didn't think there was any way to save him. And I was I wasn't ready for the loss, but I was preparing myself for it. I'm glad that she was quick on her feet to think that that would do it.
Yeah, especially because she's so not her right now too. So
Yeah.
but I mean, that was like her savior, I guess. He didn't save her, but he did save her. So she's gonna save him
He
too.
kind of did in a way because
Yeah.
if he hadn't been there, would she have held out that long?
She wouldn't have held out that long, but he also went after Cairn so that she could
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah, super sweet Fenris. I love him. So then the little folk show up and they kind of guide them out and are help covering their tracks. I love that.
Me too.
And they get on a boat and they're under there and Aelin's like, no, let's pull over. Let's stock up, let's get gold, and let's get wedding bands.
I know. I thought that was really sweet.
I like that. She's like, well, human traditions.
Yeah.
So I also love that we learned that not only is she Brandon's heir, but she's Mab's heir. And, they give her the crown. And I think was it Gabriel or Fenris? I think it was Gabriel. But they were like, oh, well, yeah, you're the fairy queen of the West.
Yeah. I thought that
I
was
love that
cute.
title. She's like, what's one more title?
Yep.
Also random. It mentions several times a lead messing with her ring. Is she still wearing Athrel's ring?
Guess she must be.
As I was like, because I don't know what other ring it would be, and I know that Lorcan had put it on her finger at one point,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it must be then.
that's kinda cool. I forgot. I didn't even think, like, whose possession that was in.
It didn't occur to I remember reading. They
Yeah.
kept mentioning. I didn't click for me either.
But I think he put it on her whenever they were in the marshes and all those Ilkin showed up. He had slipped it on her. So, okay. Also, it mentions in there, and I guess I missed it or I'm forgetting, it mentions Lorcan and Fenris's beef and, like, how they're gonna kill each other. What is that over?
That was he called Maeve's Armada, right?
Okay. I was wondering
No,
what it was.
well, they were looking for Lorcan. They were
Yeah.
looking for
They were
him,
gonna
right?
kill him.
And then yeah.
Because he was ordered to kill him, so he still has
Yeah.
that's dragging.
Yeah.
But they mentioned their beef, and they're gonna kill each other after he's broken the blood oath and now sworn it to Aelyn.
I don't
What a
know. I don't know. I know there was a lot of bad blood there because he was sent to go kill him, and
yeah,
then Lorcan calls fucking Maeve's Armada, and all shit hits the fan then, right?
yeah.
I'd be fucking pissed.
So then yeah, right? So then Aelyn doesn't trust Lorcan, so in order to trust him, she's like, "Cool, you swear the blood oath to me too." So she's just kind of stealing the whole cadre. I love it. So then Aelyn is training, she's teaching everybody word marks, and Rowan sees the battle in Aniel, and they go there. And that's where the two storylines merge as she walks in the tent with Yrene and Chaol or everybody, and she sees Chaol and she's crying and she's like, "You're walking!" And I loved that reunion, however short it
Yeah.
was. I loved it.
See, that's what I need. When two people come back together after not seeing each other, I need that.
Yeah, well, also though, like they had started to get into a better place, but they weren't in the best of places.
No. But we
No,
also Chaol fixed that in himself whilst he was being healed in the last
he
but
did.
so for him he's understanding. I don't know, I really enjoyed that. I really did.
I did too. I liked that little reunion. And also I liked the whole like, oh, well, this is my wife. Well, this is my mate. Like, here's everybody.
I thought that was so sweet when she shows her the letter and she was like, "I did
Like,
everything
can I
you
keep
want." Oh my
this?
god, I cried there too. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was blub blubbing, baby. So sweet. So sweet. Because I really feel like that also gave her I think it gave Aelin some heart. Like, "Hey, I did something small for you, and look now where you are. Look where we are." Like,
Yeah, so
oh,
probably
I was like,
she probably needs those little gems and those little, like, encouraging thoughts because she's been in such a dark place for months. She was there for, like, 2.5 months. So then they kinda share everything that they've learned, the Southern Continent, Aelyn, everything, and then, Lorcan didn't know that Maeve was Valg, and so he apologizes to Alede, and Alede is like, "I don't care if you die on the battlefield." Shit, I mean, she's never been one to, like, mince her words or
"No.
anything, but okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. But also Lorcan never apologizes, we learn, so,
No,
hey,
he doesn't.
he's
No.
growing
Mm-mm.
too.
Yep.
I mean, even if it's out of, trying to make up for things, like, that's good for him. So, Aelyn is super feeling overwhelmed with all of her many tasks that she needs to complete, but actually one of my favorite scenes in this whole book was when, after that, Chaol introduces Aelyn to his dad, and I found so much humor in that scene. First of all, Aelyn was on one, she was hilarious. Everything that came out of her mouth, I was like, "Hell yeah, that's so funny." But also, I love that Chaol outranks his father.
Yes.
God, that's gotta feel good, and he didn't even tell him, like, that's gotta feel so good.
Brilliant.
I
Brilliant. Be
but
put in
that
your place, old man.
how so you need to, you're just a miserable man. I don't know why he's as terrible as he is. He's not even Valg.
No, he's just a hateful person. I think this book shows you that you don't have to be an evil entity to still be a horrible human being. It's not sometimes humans are just horrible.
Yeah, we've got a few of those in here.
Oh, yeah.
So then Fenris tells Rowan what all happened with Cairn, and they go looking for armor, and they find it, and they take it, and the battle is about to begin, but where is Aelyn? She's freaking on the ground in golden armor with a golden crown, taking on everybody on her own. Did you think that she was gonna show up out there, or do you think she was, like, having a meltdown because of
No,
not
I knew I had a feeling that the fire thing was gonna be a problem for her, like, drawing on the magic to do the fire, but I knew that because when she has swords in her hands, that's who she is right there. That is her protection, you know what I mean? She can close her mind off and she can get in the zone. So, no, I knew she would get down there because that's what she needed to center herself. But,
Yes, she
feel
did.
some
And you know what?
motherfuckers and get on with
She
it.
doesn't even need her fire to inspire her men. Like, could you
No.
imagine seeing a golden queen just slashing Ilkin and killing them left and right?
Yeah, that's quite the I bet that was quite the sight. But it just
Yeah.
shows you that no one would have faulted her for not wanting to get in that. After what happened to her, to just take a step back, but she didn't. She didn't shun. She didn't walk away. She got right in there.
Because Aelyn is a badass.
Yeah, she
So,
is. She's awesome.
yeah. So everybody else starts joining in, right? The Falcon is fighting with his youth again.
No, I'm so happy.
Me too. Could you imagine making a deal with the devil essentially and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lose 20 years of my life, assuming you're gonna die 20 years sooner, and it's like, no, actually you're 60 now.
Yeah, that would be like me taking a 20-year bump. That's
Yeah.
horribly scary.
Yeah. So, but then also imagine the way you feel whenever you wake up and you're 20 years younger after like, living for years.
You would really appreciate that.
Yes. You would feel invincible in battle. I could only imagine. And not only that, but you have magic and you can shift now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You said, like, before about the fact that he was having trouble with the shifting. Is that why? Because he gave 20 years of his life away?
No,
That
I
that's why
think
his magic was a little wonky?
I really think, if I remember correctly, that he didn't have that magic before magic disappeared. So he'd never practiced with it or done anything with it. And then I think because he has lesser powers, they just showed up later. I don't know why.
I
Because
just
I think
wondered
he
if
was an
maybe
adult.
because I didn't know when he met the spider either, so I didn't know where the
Well,
timeline kinda fit with
he
that.
met this spider. He ran into Selena and he'd already met the spider before Throne of Glass started. So in the prequels.
Right.
So
Okay, so he would have already have not been
I mean,
used.
more than 5 years ago? I don't know.
I don't know. I was like, I wonder if that played a part in it, but I guess not.
So everybody's fighting, yeah, and Lorcan steps out there, and he's all depressed and lowers his shield. Why? I don't know, but he got cut down immediately, which is
Heartbreak does weird things to phase, apparently. I don't know.
Yes, no, but you've been a amazing warrior, undefeated for 500 plus years, and you're literally gonna lower your shield that has served you so well all these years? I don't know. I didn't quite understand that part, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then also at the same time, we learn that the dam is about to break and they
Yes.
need to evacuate. And kind of it's all happening once Aelin is sent up to check on Chaol and finds out about the dam. And she's like, well, did anybody warn the healers? Like, go get them. So they start getting them. And then she's like, well, wait, where's Lorcan?
Who she didn't care about dying on the
She didn't
field.
care about, yeah, right. She's just trying to be a hard ass. And, obviously you can't forgive him too easily. You have to make him grovel or else he's going to do shit like that again, right?
You only have a little human lifespan. He's going to live a long time. That's minutes you're losing here.
Yeah, for sure. But what? So she hops on Farasha, love that horse, and goes out to go find him. And one thing that I really liked learning, because I didn't remember it, was that Hellas watches over Lorcan, yes, and that Aneth watches over Aelin, but I didn't know that those two gods were lovers. So that was kind of cool little
Yeah, I
fate.
thought that was really sweet too.
And then also that Chaol has always called Farasha Hellas's horse. All of that was kind of symbolic and I think helped it play out the right way. But so she gets on the horse and she finds him and he's like, no, I'm too heavy. She finally gets him up there. No, I'm too heavy, but I've loved you forever. I'm going to let go. And she's like, the fuck you are. And so she holds on to him and, they finally make it back. And then the dam breaks and Aelin uses 3 months worth of firepower to turn it all to steam, and that was wildly cool. And I liked how her and Rowan just kind of like understand what's going on with the other one. Okay, so I was talking about the fire and the steam. I really like that they are able to read each other and just like she didn't have to be like, oh hey, save these people. And he's like, I got it. So I obviously love their connection.
It's amazing. Really is.
So let's see. Lorcan wakes up and Aelin tells him that she loves him too. Oh, they're cute, I guess. I don't know. I still don't know.
Part of me still hasn't quite gotten over what Lorcan did, I think.
Yeah.
Her telling him that I'm hoping will level out how I feel about him because I'm still a little mad. I'm still salty about that.
Yeah, because Aelin wouldn't have gone through literally everything in the first half of this book, minus the Morath soldiers marching. That would have happened. That's inevitable. But like Aelin's being tortured, that whole thing, Connell dying, Fenris being tormented, like all of that.
His fault.
Yeah.
Idiot.
So I am still a little salty, a little bit bitter about that, but that's okay. They love each other. They need some light in this dark, dark world.
Yes.
But we also learned that Aelin had sent a letter to Maeve's soldiers, and was like, because she thought she saw the black blood, she was like, I'm going to run with this. I think she's Vogue. I think you guys should overthrow her. She's evil. So I'm really hoping that that plays out or something comes from that.
Yrene knows that she's the bold queen, right? So how does she not know yet?
No, they do know now because whenever they all showed up in the tent, Nesrin told them she had sent this. Oh my gosh. She had sent this letter previous to finding out that was indeed
Right.
Yeah, just saw it because it was black blood on her cheek and then it was red and she was like, I don't know what's real.
Yeah.
But her
Oh,
intuition.
yes, yeah. No, I get, you're right. I remember now.
So the crew all agrees that they will all go north with Aelin and they'll cross at the Farian Gap and that the White Fangmen know a secret path. So Chaol's going to give them some land in exchange for that information. And his father is pissed off about that.
Yeah. Too fucking
He
bad,
does
bro.
not want to give up any land because apparently that's more important than staying alive or not being a demon. Yeah, he'd probably welcome a Vault Caller.
Enjoy your fucking kingdom when you're dead.
He would probably thrive on being a powerful Vogue prince.
He don't want that, though.
Still be in there.
Didn't he know?
So he said that he didn't know that the king was Vogue, but that he knew something was off about his army. So, I don't know. So, also in this Chaol's dad being pissed thing, he tries to, bargain with him and tells him that he has an
Letters.
entire trunk full of letters from his mother that not only he didn't send him, but he also let his mother believe that he had never gotten them or were never written back.
Yeah. Well, he was writing letters. He was catching his as well, right? So he was stopping
No,
Chaol.
I don't
No?
think Chaol was writing letters because Chaol was under the impression that his mother never cared or never wrote to him. I think they were all letters to Chaol from his mom,
Oh, that's
which, like,
horrible.
how like, can you imagine you've been gone since you were a child and you thought your mom didn't love you and you thought your mom forgot about you when indeed there is a trunk full of letters, and the fact that he was still not gonna make that deal with him because he didn't need to see what was in those letters because he's a bigger man than that, and he knows that this is what needs to happen. So he really has fully healed because the fact that he was able to do that and, like, not let his curiosity win out, it's awesome. But yeah, what a twat his father is.
I do not like him one bit.
No, I
Not one
don't.
bit.
So we also learn that Yrene is healing Valg and she can heal up to 15 a day, and that some of them that are healed wanna fight with them, which is cool because are they gonna know secrets? Because they were privy to them the whole time, so are they gonna be, like,
They must, because
intel?
the Volk couldn't get the information from them when they're in there. They've
Yeah,
gotta be
yeah. So, what do you think her healing the Vogue really means for the war, and do you think that she'll be able to heal Erewhon and Maeve? Or would you want her to?
I thought Maeve was she took that shape on, didn't she? Or did she
I don't so I posed that question here, but, like, I don't think that can they be healed because they're not pulling a Vogue king or queen out of a human.
No,
They're
that's
Vogue themselves, and they just took on
yeah.
a body, so there's nothing to save in there, right?
No, I don't think Maeve can be.
You don't
I
think
don't know. 'Cause
Erewhon
I
can?
kind of I
Maybe
thought
Erewhon
she
can,
oh, I don't
'cause he did
know.
take a human's body.
That's what I wondered, but I thought Maeve came through as something else and she
It
makes people
changed her
see.
appearance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, that's I might I'm
But
now
if they
curious.
could be healed, if they can be healed, would you want them to be, or do you just want them to be annihilated?
Look, my vengeful side wants their heads on the floor,
Uh,
but how long has Erewhon been in that body? Maybe that person's just not there anymore.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, I
you
think he
have
chose to take that form once the king died. So, like, in Empire of Storms, I think is whenever he showed up not in the Duke's body.
yeah, that's right. No, I feel bad for the body he's in. I do. Maeve, I want dead. I can't abide that.
Yeah.
You gotta go. And I
Yes.
want it to be gruesome, and I want it to be slow.
Yeah, right? And I wanna read page after page of details.
Yeah, I wanna know exactly what the drop of black blood looks like over several lines. I
Yeah.
need it.
Okay. So last random thought that I had is they were looking through the word mark books that Chaol brought, and they said that they found a spell similar to Fenris's for like a little teleportation kind of thing.
Yeah,
And that was just randomly slipped in there. So I'm wondering if we're gonna see that later, or if maybe like since Fenris is scared to do his magic, if maybe like that'll get him back in the hang of things, or maybe he'll be able to do it even if he doesn't have it. I don't know. I noticed that
I
in there.
know
I
that
didn't notice it the first time through.
yeah, said something about that he didn't know how the magic would work now that his brother had died, right?
Shared it with him, yeah.
With the shed, yeah. So, yeah, that would be handy. It's a handy little trick he was doing on the battlefield, that's for damn sure, like
But I feel like it has amazing potential, but I feel like he got drained so quickly.
yeah,
So, I mean, yeah, you save it obviously for whenever you need to save your life because someone's about to kill you, but
yeah,
so now they are all heading to Terracin.
yes,
So
I'm
we
excited
are
for that.
but we still haven't accomplished I mean, yes, we've saved Aelin, but, like, we still got Erewhon, we still have Maeve, we still have every big player that we need to take care of in less than half of this book.
Yeah, well, it's just this much, like, there's a lot to wrap up in a not so big chunk of book.
So
It is still a lot of book.
how do you feel about the pacing of this book? Do you think this one was better than Tower of Dawn, or do you think it started off a little slower?
No, I think the pacing was done well. I think it was definitely I definitely found my groove reading it,
Yeah.
and there were some really, really convenient places to stop.
Yes.
I really enjoyed how this one has gone. It's just the more pages I flick through, the closer I know we're getting to the end, and I'm not ready yet. And that's
Yeah.
normally by this point, I am so ready to wrap stuff up. But I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of book left for how much stuff feel needs to be wrapped up. But I'm guessing it's okay to be. I'm guessing it all does get wrapped up.
Yeah. Okay, so which reunion are you most excited about for part 2? Do you have anybody you're, like, looking forward to seeing
I
each
want to
other?
see. Yeah. Oh, well, they haven't met yet, but Lysandra and her uncle is going to be.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to see how, because she, as far as she's concerned, she's an orphan. But to know that he was looking for her and he was trying to find, I want to. She deserves that.
She does deserve
Bloody
someone.
deserves that. And I want to see Dorian and Chaol
I
come
do
back.
too, I do too. I wanna see Dorian and Chaol, and I wanna see Dorian and Aelin, because I know that they both had just stepped into their king and queen shoes, and they were, like, on to better or whatever, but now they've been through the shit, and, they're actually making steps to get there. But
Mm.
yeah, Dorian and Chaol, I'm super excited to see, because the last time we saw them, he named him Hand of the King, and he wasn't walking, and
I don't know. I kind of feel like Dorian needs Chaol to kind of get back to who he was
yeah,
like in the earlier books. He feels
now
lost.
he will be better.
Yeah. I'm ready for this. I am ready for everyone to be back together.
Me too.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
exciting.
that's all I got.
It was, a lot. That was a lot to get through. It was
It
good though.
was.
I had
This next part is, gosh, you're gonna go through some feelings. You think you cried in part 1. It's tense in part 2.
really
It is tense, it is terrifying, it's hopeful, it's all the things. It's all the things. You're gonna feel it all. I am excited, but also I don't wanna finish it.
Yeah, we're so close to the end.
I know we have 1 more
I
week
know.
on this.
I know. I know. Then we have to, put it away. I don't know, I kind of wished that I had got all the audiobooks to go with it because I feel like you're like, "Oh, the narrator, she did such a good job." I'm like, "Oh, kind of I missed some." I feel like I missed that now.
You did do a really good job. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, well, my library only had the first 3 or 4, and the 4th one's, like, months away, and they don't even have the rest. I've asked 8 times. I've put in requests and nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the narrator was good in the first few books, but I think she really, like, grew to understand the characters and be able to, like, convey their emotions through
Yeah.
her voice a lot, and plus, the stakes are a lot higher, so there is more emotion to be had as the series goes on. Yes, alright.
You
Well,
have anything to add? Is
no, I
you
don't, do you?
No. No, you cover everything beautifully. I absolutely love that. Coming up on part 2 next week.
I
That
know.
is Oh god! I'm excited though. I'm excited to share it with everybody as
Me
well. I hope
too.
they're, enjoying it as much as we've been enjoying it. If
Yeah,
you have
thanks.
any questions for either Hannah or me, you can always add comments in YouTube. There's a section for comments underneath the episodes, and we can even answer them on the next episode. If you have any questions that you want us to answer, more than happy to do that. Same thing on Spotify. You can actually add comments on there as well. That's at the Toppling TBR for both of those. You can find Hannah on Instagram at the Toppling TBR underscore Hannah, HANNA. You can find me there too, the Toppling TBR underscore Stacy. We have a Facebook page at the Toppling TBR. And like I said, you can find us on our YouTube channel. We really hope you have a really great reading week, guys, and we'll catch you next week.
See you next time.
Take care.